opening up the keyhole and just looking outside. I'm like, no. So then you get into the whole industry of like adult film. Was it what you expected doing your first scene? So you had me doing moonsaults off the top rope.
Oh my God.
I have implants.
Look at no one thinks so. Why?
Why not?
I mean, I thought about it for a long while before I did it. I mean, I got a lot of uproar from the whole industry, but who are they to judge me?
Yeah, I mean, what are
I mean, they can all go to hell. They don't pay my bills.
No, you got a point.
And that's that.
I know, I'm muted. So happy Monday, everyone. Thank you for joining me for a brand new episode of Off the Rails. Hi, Scott. Hi, Paul. How are you guys doing? Can you guys believe it is December already? My God. Like, where did the whole year go? I kind of wish that it was election night again. Like, I miss the anticipation. I just miss all of the adrenaline running and just watching the TV and seeing where everything was at. Hey, Jamal, how are you? How is everyone this Monday? And most of all, I feel like the whole country is getting a cold spell, which is really scary because I don't think it's been this cold in a while. And if it's super cold now, does that mean we're going to have a very hot summer? That's what I'm totally hoping for. And I'm not sure if everyone has done all their shopping yet, but I do have an eBay store with a bunch of really cool items for the Patriot in your life, or all kinds of jewelry. It's under the Vintage Affair shop on eBay. And I also have, what else do I have? Oh, hop on over to filthypirate.coffee. Again, it's filthypirate.coffee. They have a bunch of really awesome coffee that's a veteran-owned business in Arizona. And also the coffee there is non-acidic, which is really good for the stomach. Hey, John Jay. And thank you, Paul, for the 1-year anniversary of Off the Rails live stream. Crazy, huh? I guess I've been getting a lot of really good guests on here. Hey, Erwin, how are you? Erwin Rath. That is a very interesting name. So as I was saying, if anyone wants some interesting stuff, patriotic stuff, jewelry, all kinds of really cool things, hop on over to the Vintage Affair shop on eBay. I have a lot of really cool stuff up there. And if you're looking for coffee, the best coffee that I've had to date, and it's not because, they gave me the stuff and all those other things that come with, endorsements and people talking about nice things. Honestly, the best coffee I've had to date is Filthy Pirate coffee. So if you hop on over to filthypirate.coffee, they have all these really cool flavors for Christmas. It's non-acidic, which is really good for the stomach. I don't know who else doesn't eat breakfast here. Like, I'm not much of a huge breakfast fan all the time. So it helps when you have something that's super smooth on the stomach. So for tonight, I decided to have a double header again with Vic Lagina because he is friends with Tera Winters and knew her from day one when she started in the business. So he will be hopping on here shortly, I hope. If you would have had time, John Jay. And I'm also still expecting a delivery at some point sooner than later. And by the way, I know that I said this the last time. I'm seriously obsessed by Drag Queen Story Hour, okay? Not because of the videos, but not because of like what it was, but more so because of the fucking insanity in the videos to show us where we were as a country and as a society. If you had time, you'd have breakfast. Well, that's good. I mean, that's I don't know if that's good or bad, but maybe wake up a little bit earlier if you want to try to have breakfast. I don't know. Maybe it's not such a bad idea. So yeah. Breakfast, the most important meal of the day. I don't know if I really agree with people on the whole breakfast thing, because I just feel as though it's one of those things, you're going to get it or you're not going to get it, right? And sometimes like even Trader Joe's has those weird like egg white bites. I don't know if anyone buys those, but they're pretty interesting. Anyway, I think my guest co-host is here. He doesn't know this, but there's a specific thing he does ask people all the time. as soon as they hop on, but he has not asked me yet. Let's see if he tries to remember this time.
Hi,
Hi.
Jasmin. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Hi, everyone. What don't I ask everyone? How are you? Is that the
I'm
thing
not
that
going to say anything. Just wait till Tara gets here, and then you could try to figure it out on your own. You did it the last time. You're going to do it again. Everyone's saying hi. I'm just like
Hello, everyone.
wondering, like, do I seem like I'm that normal and together?
That's a big stretch, a slight stretch, but no, you're a businesswoman. You're a go-getter. So, and you're a professional. So I look at you as same level, and I don't see anything that stands out. I mean, yeah, I'd say sometimes you scare the shit out of me, but otherwise, not like in a bad way.
Hey, Laura. Oh, by the way, I got my Trump nails today.
Mm.
These are like the coolest nails. I have like Trump nail art on my nails now. It's him after the whole fight thing. But I don't think I'll be allowed back. I don't think I'm welcome back at that nail salon after this whole thing with the Trump nails.
Did you upset them?
Oh my God, I have company. Hi, Enzo.
Yeah, I got Junior at my feet. Hopefully he's not gaseous tonight, but we
So
will
this
soon
is-
find out.
He leads this movement, BCLM. It's Black Cats Lives Matter. Hi.
All right.
Okay, Enzo. All right. He got his attention. I think he got like his little little moment there. Everyone's doing great. Laura Jeremy. I can't see it. So what do you have planned, Vic? And by the way, Vic has penned an amazing book to date. It's The Rise. It's called Filthy. There we go. The Rise and Pending Fall of Vic Lagina. Pending fall.
I love how you say my last name. You'll get it. You'll get it right one of these days.
Well, what do you want me to frickin' say?
Lagina.
Jesus Christ, that's horrible. That's just so crass. And
you know what's funny? Patrick Bet David, he's got the big, huge podcast out of Florida, I believe. The girl, the woman who wrote this, the takedown book about Pornhub,
Yes,
she was on there refuting all of the facts that they had spewed about a month before about Pornhub and the new Pornhub and everything else. And she mentioned me, and I have to tell you, like, it's worth listening to that whole podcast just based on that moment, because she goes, yeah, and some of my biggest allies are from the porn industry. Vic Lagina wrote this book. And he's like, did you just say Vic Lagina? He's like, you're serious? He's like, Trump would love that name, the way he says China. So like Vic Lagina.
China.
So you should say it like that. Lagina.
China.
But that was a good plug. And sold a bunch of copies of the book just based on that. It was pretty cool.
I think it makes a good Christmas gift. So if anyone wants to buy one of Vic's books as a great stocking stuffer or just as a gift, where do they go to? Amazon, and where else? Do you have a website?
Well, you just go to my website, viclagina.com, and you can figure out if you like the audio version. It'll take you to all of them. Plus, there's a trailer that has kind of like a trailer for the book. It's kind of fun. There's lots of boobies in it, so I can't really put it on YouTube.
Why?
I guess they have a problem. It's kind of the world we live in where boobies are offensive on YouTube. But maybe there's another way of doing it. I don't know. But it is hosted on my website. So yeah. So I'm curious how Tera and the business are going. I listened to the podcast you did with her on Crazy Train, and it was actually very interesting because I had no idea about her health issues and what she's going through with that. And of course, I want to know is like, have the lefty lunatics of porn calmed down a little bit, or are they
not?
No, still streaming, yelling, crying? Is that what's happening? Like what's going on?
Maybe they're like shave their heads and all go on a sex strike and save us from watching them. If they go on a sex strike, obviously, but it's not calmed down. I had a couple of people pull off of doing my Crazy Train podcast, which drops every Wednesday. By the way, it's Crazy Train with a K. And make sure you subscribe, rate, and review. Same thing with the YouTube page. A couple of people pulled off of it because I guess they understand I'm a far right wing conservative nut job who loves Trump. Like, I'm all about Trumpy, baby. I want a job in his cabinet. I don't care if it's in his liquor cabinet, but I want to be in his cabinet. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, people are out there canceling themselves as well too. Like, you have Drea De Matteo, who was a star from The Sopranos, and she went
Hold on,
out
my
there.
my earbuds are getting all weird. Let me just reset these
That's
real
because
quick.
you're weird.
Hold on.
Did you hear me say that?
Okay.
Okay,
Try
yeah.
this again.
I'm saying that, like, they're still acting like loonies to the left, but I think people are also canceling themselves to some degree. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can
Hello?
hear you now.
Yeah, some people I feel are canceling themselves because they don't want to deal with the stupidity. In fact, I had a conversation with a far left friend of mine today who's moving from LA to like up north somewhere. Then she's scared because it's too close to Oakland. But I explained to her, well, you need to live in the values that you vote for. So if you vote for defunding the police and you vote for this type of, you know, crime and all this crap like roaming around the streets, then you should live there with these people. Oh, but my kid, I sent her a video of Drag Queen Story Hour and she totally flipped out. I miss Drag Queen Story Hour though, because I want the videos. I just love watching the videos. Hi Sadul, hi John, and no one's robbing a bank. Yes, I know that's like a little bit out there. Hello everyone. Hi FM. How are you? So it's insanity, but I think it's divided a lot of friendships and people you know, around the holidays getting together. Are you
Yeah.
vaxxed?
No, I was not. I was like, no, I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I say people can do whatever the fuck they want. They can put whatever they want in their bodies. I just was, I was not ready to just jump in and do that because everything just seemed kind of weird to me. And it was very interesting watching everyone fall in line so easily. Like the whole social experiment of COVID was very interesting to me on that front. But the way I see it, it wasn't a one size fits all kind of scenario. Whereas you have a guy like me who works out, is very mindful about what I put in my body, organics, making sure my gut health is good, so I'll have a good immune system. I work out, I do things so I don't clog the healthcare system. And I was going to be like, all right, well, if I get COVID, I'm expecting my body to do what it's done to every virus, which is defeat it. And then that was really it. And so I didn't do it. And to be honest with you, I was the Meshuggah of the family where I couldn't go back east for until 2022 because I didn't get the jab. So I was the crazy one. I was the crazy one that wouldn't do it. But this year, I took my girlfriend home. She survived. She survived my mishpacha of a family, and you know she made it back, and everything was good. So I told her, I said, you don't have to do this again for a while, and it's my turn to meet her family whenever the next big one might happen. So she did good. She did really good. But yeah, to answer that was a long-winded answer to your question.
No, it's good. I like that she met your family. Was she scared?
I mean, there's always a little bit of nervousness, trepidation, because you know she met him. She met my father and his wife back in June, and then now this is her meeting the nieces and the nephew and everyone else, and doing it for 5 days. You know, it was kind of a long haul. Yeah, so we did that, and it worked. We're still together. That's really good. So I'm proud of her. I can only do.
Jewish?
What's up?
Sorry, is she Jewish? I totally forgot that part. I have to ask if
No.
she's Jewish. If she's a
No, she's Catholic.
She's a shiksa?
She's Catholic, yeah.
Shiksa.
Yeah. I mean, that it was kind of common for me all throughout the years. Like I didn't date Jewish women, except once. She was a doctor and a cokehead, and a surgeon. Yeah. So that was the one time I dated within my tribe, and it wasn't an easy ride. And you know, my experiences growing up and my experiences in college, I gravitated all towards the non-Jews, and it's mixed results. You know, a couple strikes, couple gutters, but right now I'm very happy. So,
well, wait a second. You said this woman was a doctor, a surgeon, and a cokehead all in one.
Yeah.
That's an amazing resume.
Yeah, you'd be surprised how many doctors were on cocaine in the ER in the trauma ward. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Well, think about it. I mean, they have to, they're up all night. They get very little sleep. They got to be on it. I mean, look, I was doing a hell of a lot of blow when I was shooting porn because we had so much work to do that I was just kind of like, well, let's do another rail. We'll get through this day. And it was just like a kind of crazy process, but it does give you energy and it keeps the long days. They make it a little bit easier. So.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, but that's so scary. Yeah, did you do any traveling when everything shut down in 2020? Vic, Paul wants to know.
No, I didn't. I stayed put and I was just chilling with my dogs because truth is I was always working for like 16 years straight. And I finally had a chance to like hang out with my dogs at my house, which I was like always working for and paying down and was a big part of my overhead. So I finally got the chance to enjoy it. And then I realized I really liked it. I really liked it. So I'm just doing it all the time now.
Oh, look who's here. And I think I just saw her cat like walk by. I wish everyone would just show their pets tonight. Seriously, like Enzo made a guest appearance. Your dog made a guest appearance. Let's add Tera. Hey, Tera, how are you?
Oh, there she is.
Hi.
Hello there.
Sorry, I didn't know if you can see. I was having a hell of a time. My damn headphones wouldn't connect.
No, it's okay. Was that your cat before that just walked by?
Oh, no, it's my dog.
Oh, my God.
He's a Labradoodle. He has like a mohawk and a beard.
That's cute. Well, I guess this is like a little bit of a reunion. Have you guys seen each other since you stopped working in the business, Vic?
No. Last time was in the desert in Vegas with Charles Dara. That had to have been late 2018. That was a good shoot. I remember, like, here was the thing, and Tara is the kind of performer you always want on set. Happy to be there, on time, wanting to do a good job, like work ethic, which everyone should have, but seems to escape a lot of people. But really, at the end of the day, we were out in the desert, which, this is where I would say producers and directors are the unsung heroes of porn because, they get all the kudos, the performers, but I have to manage a shoot in the desert with two people fucking when you've got, I don't know, go-kart or dune buggy tours going around every so often. Do you remember we had like lookouts? Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yes. And then I had to run and hide in a car because it's butt ass naked outside, and like people kept driving through, like clearly trying to catch a peek of what we were doing.
Yeah. And this is what they would ask of me, and like, truth is, it's like I accepted the job. I'll make it happen. But I believe that was the last desert shoot I ever did. Because there was a certain point where you're like, why am I taking such risks? Like, if I get in trouble, right, I'm the one who could potentially be like a sex offender because we're shooting public nudity, and I'm like, I did it because I felt at the time the company, look, they were good to me for a while and they kept me very busy. And in that end, you feel like you have to take these jobs because if you say no, someone else will take it and kind of outshine you. So you take these risks, and I knew how to mitigate these risks totally with having lookouts and all of that. But yeah, that's what shooting porn in a desert is. It's like high tension, but they rocked the shit out of that one. There's no doubt.
I loved it. I thought it was fun, and I love that public stuff. So that was super fun for me. Unfortunately, I see your point. Like, it does suck, especially with people like pulling up and trying to catch peaks and stuff like that. But I had fun. I'm sad they don't do more public stuff like that, especially out in the middle of the desert. I mean, you're going way out of your way to like catch a peak.
Yeah. No, I remember you had the gold flaky like things attached to your body. That crazy design. Yeah, that's the other thing too that Brazzers loves to do. Here, let's make some crazy complicated bullshit that looks really good, and now you have to have sex doing it.
Wait, what was it though? Was it like a golden bird? Like what was it a character? What was this gold stuff?
It was like a goddess looking theme, and it was like a golden tape. It was like little bits of like tape, if that makes sense. Like, so it looked really cool. As soon as the sun would hit it, it would shine like super pretty. But yeah, it was like randomly they would fall off while we were shooting. But it looked really cool.
I mean that was the thing too, everything falling off. But and then the good thing is like Charles Dara, he's he was like solid. I knew he would be the guy that can get through it. He's funny. I still hear from him. Do you talk to Tera at all? Charles Tera?
Are you talking me? Oh,
Yeah.
no. Unfortunately, no, I haven't seen him this time around. I thought he was doing his own like website and stuff.
Yeah.
Is he still doing his own thing?
I think so. I liked his alter ego, Carl Toughlove.
I know, I love it. I love it. He always has a cigar.
Yeah, Charles Tera was you would like him. He was like, he didn't really give a fuck.
Uh-huh.
You know, he was there to like fuck the hole, get paid and go home, and say some like weird off the wall shit during the scene. Like sometimes I'd be like shooting and then I'd hear it and then I'd look up and I'd look around like, did he just say what I thought? Okay, and then you just keep going. Like that's Charles Tera in a nutshell. But he's doing well, and I just tell him, just be careful, dude. Like, don't hire any crazies, and always have GoPros running to document, because you know it's that's where we are now in porn.
Yeah.
What was he saying though that could be so? Okay. First of all,
I'll try to remember. Like,
no, two things. Like, first off, let's go back to the gold outfit, which I think is amazing. So we were shooting stuff up at Spawn Ranch, where Charles Manson's commune was. It was in the middle of the day. It was like 1,000 freaking degrees outside, and I have to say, I couldn't believe it. But like, I'd have to take a nap in the middle of the day. And I felt like there was another presence there. I didn't know it was Spawn Ranch. But this is when we had like costuming and stuff, right? So we had, the movie was called Punk Ass. Fast forward to Philip Mond. He shot me for Penthouse. But there was a movie back then. I really want to remember what the name is. But you got to see the costuming, because they didn't put gold foil on us. They literally painted us gold.
Oh, that'd be hot, but that'd be so hard to work. You're talking about like a straight up porn scene, right? And your body is painted.
Yeah. I'm gonna remember the name of the movie. It was directed by Philip Mond. It had Sasha Vinny in it, Gino LaMarca, like all Penthouse pets. Then back then, this is before your time, of course. Back in my day, we had video vignettes by Playboy. So we had Playboy's Women of Color. I did that one. Playboy Girls of South Beach. So then there were like vignettes with like we were body painted, black light paint, neon paint.
Oh, dope. That'd be awesome.
So like, this sounds like fun, but if you have, I don't know, they should have invested more in you, like in your stuff. I'm sorry. And this man you're talking about, this weirdo. I'm sorry. What was he saying that was off the wall? Was he insulting the female talent? Like, was he a Jasmin in that respect?
He would do something like lift up the girl's arm, sniff like her armpit, and be like, I love the smell of your musk.
Why don't they smack him in the fucking face?
Dude, no, man. This is starting to get like a real common thing. I mean, I have done multiple scenes this year where they're like, hey, do you have deodorant on? And I'm like, yeah. Like, can you go rub it off really quick? And I'm like, sure. And I'm not joking. Every time I have full intention of going into the bathroom and rub it off. But I'm like, what was I coming in for? And then I leave. And then in the middle of the scene, it was so funny. This happened 3 times. The male talent goes and lifts my armpit and licks my armpit and goes, because I forgot to rub it off.
Yeah.
But it's actually starting to be like more common. Guys want to smell like you, like natural you.
Pheromones.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it.
It's a job. This isn't a personal thing. This is a fucking job. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I know I shouldn't.
Well, no, like, listen. There's a couple categories of performers. You're in one category. There's another category where some girls are like, yeah, that's kind of weird, but I'm kind of into it, and they just go with it. It just depends on what's happening on any given day, and you just have to read the energy of the room and make sure people are like, all right, I'm cool. You know, that's when people were talking, but I don't know, something changed. It was getting close to 2020.
Well, honestly, I think that when it comes to like male talents and stuff like that, I think they're really easy to work with if they're like pretty open about it. Then you get the ones that are a little shy, and then it's like hard because then you're just like, you can't even talk to each other, see like what you're into and stuff.
Yeah. No, I agree with you on that one. But I remember that day. I mean, I remember looking in the viewfinder, and it looked like it was a beautiful scene. Your eyes were just like like I was looking through the viewfinder and I'm like, looking, I was like, your eyes were just popping because of that natural light. So I was like, that was a good day. We got done, didn't get arrested, everyone got paid, everything was cool, you know. I had a
Yeah,
good
that
day
was
that
awesome.
day. Yeah, it was a rare one where I felt like at the end of the day, I was like, I had fun today. And that feeling was like escaping every day as time went on until it was all over, you know,
Yes,
slowly.
I loved that shoot. That was super fun. I'm sad that they don't do that kind of stuff like ever. Unfortunately, I get casted for just scenes a lot. I think it's because I'm shit with lines. I'm really good with ad lib, but as soon as you give me lines, I'm like, what?
Well, you know, one thing that you were talking, when you're talking about, you know, Dr. Evil, your time with Dr. Evil, Derek, you know, at LA
Yes,
Direct.
yes.
Yeah, he never made things easy for anybody ever. Like he kind of got off on the power trip and made it where trying to get a job done was more complicated. But at one point he was pretty powerful.
Yeah, I don't miss him. I'm just gonna be honest with you. He was, man, the dude, as soon as that dude would call my name, I'm like, shit, I'm in trouble. It's just the tone of his voice. He just makes me feel like he was one of those agents who he kind of came off like the way he acted is like you worked for him, not the other way around. And I think that drove me crazy because it takes away like the freedom of the job when you're supposed to be the boss even to your agents. They're the one who works for you, but not with Derek. He's like, nope, you know, you need to do this, this, and this. And it was like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Takes
That's
it away
weird.
from the job.
I don't talk about him nicely in my book at all. I rip him to shreds. So
But you know, that's how managers were back in the 90s. I had Charlie Fry. He's not alive, by the way. He killed himself in jail, supposedly.
Oh,
Um,
damn.
yeah, well, so he was like that, and he would really scare the girls. Like, he didn't scare me because I knew what I was bringing in as a featured dancer, right? And he would use my coattails for other girls to ride on if they wanted a booking at a club or something. But I mean, he was strict. Like, you need to do this. You need to get your nose done. You need to get bigger boobs. Like, we listened back then. I know it's also how you present things to people. And like, this guy sounds like a total douchebag. Speaking of douchebag, Tara, Paul wants to know what your first impression is on meeting Vic. And I don't think you're a douchebag. I'm just joking.
Dude, I was intimidated. I mean, look at him. He looks like a biker dude that would just kick your ass if you said the wrong fucking thing. And I was like, it's funny because like when I first seen him, I was like, oh shit. Because I remember I talked to him online first, and then I met him. Because then I was like, the first time I met him was on in a Vegas shoot. So funny, bro. I was living in Arizona. I drove to Vegas to do an extra scene for $150. And I didn't even have a car at the time. I borrowed my dad's car for it. And I met Vic the first time that day. And I was so intimidated. I was like, oh my God. And then you were super nice. So it was super cool.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like people have said that. And I guess sometimes like I would have a scowl on my face, which was more because of like the bullshit we were asked to produce, you know, and trying to make sense of it and trying to get the job done. So I had like this like mean mug going. And so people have said that like you come off as very intimidating, but then they're like, okay, but I wasn't a total dick unless I had to be, and unless I was dealing with things that were, you know, had to bring that side out of me. But at the end of the day, I wanted everyone to feel comfortable when they got there. So yeah, a little bit big, looking like a mean biker dude. That's fair, I suppose.
Well, you just look intimidating. You know what I mean? So that was my first impression, but you're super kind. I was like, yeah, I like this guy. In fact, I'm just saying this because I feel like a dick. Okay. As soon as I found out your book was out, I bought it. Look.
Yeah.
I bought it.
Did. Yes.
Yes. And then you told me that they were like, oh, shortly I'm going to have the audiobook coming out. And I was like, oh, fuck yeah. Bought that too. Unfortunately, you're going to kill me. I bought the book and I was like, I'm going to, support you and I'm excited to read it. However, 2 days after I got the book, I realized, shit, my lease is up. So what am I going to do? Am I going to get another year here or am I going to go back to California and shoot? So since you're one of those people, I basically agree with everything you fucking say. I was like, oh shit, all you do is talk a bunch of shit in this book about stuff in porn. You know what I mean? And I was like, he's gonna botch my opinion even more than it already is if I fucking read it. So I have it. You're gonna kill me, but I have not read it. I even have the audiobook version of it, and I'm going to do it.
It's okay. To be honest with you, I don't think a lot of people in the business have read it. They really haven't.
Why?
Well, okay. First,
I don't know. You tell me why.
Why can't they read it? Because they can't read, or like why? Are they afraid of you? This is what were they afraid of what you had to say? Because why did you pick it up, Tera, to support him? But why do you think other people don't want to? Do you think it's because
it's a mixture of things. I did it to support him. He's my friend. We've known each other for a few years now, and we kept in touch even when I wasn't, in doing active scenes and he wasn't in, working anymore. And he told me about the book, and I was super excited to hear. Well, how cool is that to hear somebody who's been in the industry for 20 fucking years talk all sorts of shit about how things are really going behind the scenes and how girls are being treated, how guys are being treated, like all that dirt. And I'm like, I agree with like everything he fucking says. And my biggest thing is I didn't want to read it because right after I realized I was coming back to California to do scenes again, I was like, he's going to botch my opinion even more if I fucking read it. And then I'm going to be like, already walking in situations going, I fucking heard about this guy and already know what I'm going to think about it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's fair. You didn't want it to kind of psych you out a little bit going into LA and taking another run at it. That's fair. I think the other thing too is like, it's not the fact that people can't read. I think a lot of people in the porn business are very consumed with themselves and they don't really have time to do that. It's like, they're TikToking, they're creating content for, their whole brand and everything else. And reading this takes time. I mean, listening to it takes time. It's 12 and a half hours of audiobook. But I mean, one thing about this I would say is for anyone getting into porn, read it. If you don't want to read about my shit show of a train wreck of a romantic life while being in porn up until now, just focus on the 9 lessons of Vic Lagina's School of Porn, because you basically get the cliff notes of like, this should be orientation material to get into porn. If you're going to shoot for studios and you're going to be on people's sets, just learn those lessons and you'll be fine. And you can actually think ahead towards the future and maybe have money at the end of the day when you're done with this and not allow yourself get chewed up by it, So really, that's what I have to say to people. But I think people are just more consumed in themselves, because I've seen people that I've talked mad shit about in this book, and it's like they have no idea. And I'm like, you didn't read it, motherfucker. Like, I know.
Oh my God. Yeah. Great. Now I'm gonna go read it, and it's gonna be so much shit about that one shoot we did in the desert.
Well, I'll tell you this: when you're in traffic and you're going to anywhere you're going, spin the audiobook because it's much more fun. It really is.
I'm excited about it.
That's cool. Like, this is all great because it's laid out nicely, and if you like to read, it's very digestible. But the audiobook goes down quicker, and it's more fun because I actually have sound bites from what I'm talking about, and it's got like my own little weird dash of strangeness to it that I think people will find funny, and they'll kind of get me a little bit better,
Yeah, but I prefer my version better. What, they can't read?
Yeah. Well,
that's just such a Jasmin thing to say. It's a Jasmin thing. I have to say it. I have to. Like, I said that to Felicia, and this girl, she did only girl scenes back in the 90s. Some of the guys might remember her on here. And it was at that time where I've never worked with girls before. So here's what happened. She goes to like one of those press things, like maybe, what was it, Paul Fishbein, AVN magazine. Well, have you seen what she said about people in the press before? So my simple reply was like, oh, I'm surprised she even knows how to read anything. Wow. So yeah, I mean, those are the sorts of things I was saying. I just haven't changed much. I'm just more refined.
I love it.
Yeah.
I think today, Vic, what would happen today if I did that on a set? What would happen?
If you were on a set? Oh, so here's the deal. If I paired you, I think with, not want to say anyone, but if I partnered you with like a guy that perhaps he's a little like on the center between, this guy's a full blown stud, this guy's a mope, and I put you on someone who's like on either way the wind blows, he could go either way. I would have to do what I called the Phil Jackson. Do you know who Phil Jackson is?
No.
Okay, he was a basketball coach for the Lakers and the Bulls, all of these championships. He was like the Zen coach where he would take them to the side and he would just do his like gospel and magic, and he would get the players to do exactly what they needed to win championships. Sometimes I would have a performer such as you that was just like, it's not my job to get your dick hard, which is fine. It's fine. But, you know, he's trying to figure out, okay, how on earth do I get through this scene so I can get paid? And that's where I had to be like, all right, dude, sit down. Let's talk it out. And that's called the Phil Jackson. And it usually worked. Sometimes it would take hours. Sometimes they took the advice, they went right in and they won the fucking game. That's the Phil Jackson. I had to do that quite a bit.
No, there's a cheaper way to do it. He can close his eyes. You could close your eyes and you could jack him till he gets hard and then do the scene.
That's true. It's true. It's, you know, that's what I'm saying. When you're dealing with someone who's possibly marginalized as a male talent goes. What's your worst story, Tara, with
yeah,
if you don't want to name names, like what's when the dick goes flaccid, tell me about those scenarios.
Well, okay, this is gonna be I haven't had that problem, thankfully. Thankfully, I haven't had that problem yet. I have had a situation where it was a blowjob scene, and it was one of those fucking websites. So many people are doing this shit now where it's POV.
Mm.
And at this point, I'm not even accepting those scenes anymore because of this kind of shit that randomly they try to like take advantage of the fact that it's just you and the camera kind of thing. So this one person in particular was my first fucking scene back this year. And I was just like, okay, so I do this scene and I was like, oh my God, dude, it was supposed to be a blowjob scene. And I was there for like 5 fucking hours. The guy was like super into edging. So every time he'd get excited, make me stop and be like, see? And I'm just like, bro, oh my God, I haven't seen in the morning. Like, we got to wrap this up. And as soon as I realized like what he was doing, I was like, dude. So that was my worst experience. It was clearly somebody like, I was trying to explain it to you, like somebody's into edging. So they're like, as soon as they get excited, they stop. And then they do it again until they stop. You know, it's like so ridiculous. That's unfortunately like, I've been very fortunate with my shoots. I've been working with really good male talents, and there's like, I've seen a few of your shows now where some of the girls are like talking about how guys not being cleansly.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, and the funny thing is I don't actually have a sense of smell. But if I could taste your dick, there's a problem there. So if it has a flavor to it, I'm just like, ugh.
So that's happened. There's been flavor.
Yes, there's been flavor. And I'm just like, lovely.
Yep. Yeah. See, I never really had to get that into it. And if I did smell it from as far as where I was with the camera, then we knew that it was a bad day. And there's been plenty of those. That I believe is lesson 6 in Vic Lagina's School of Porn, the hygiene chapter, where I give tips on what you can do to keep the hoo-ha in order. So you don't arrive to set as a savage beast that doesn't know how to cleanse themselves. So
it's actually funny though. You said girls, because I heard that can happen a lot with girls on set. Yeah. I've actually this year I've only done one girl scene. I've done one girl boy scene or whatever. It was like two other girls and a guy, but actual girl scene I only did one this year.
Okay, and everything was.
I do a lot of guys.
Yeah. Well, if everything was in order on that one, then I'd say good job for her, whoever she may be. So cool. Well, I just had a question too about business, the business of how's it going for you? Because when we were on with Hime a couple weeks ago, she said, relatively speaking, between years ago to now, it's leaner. How are you doing?
What do you mean? Like if I'm doing better, like in the actual industry, or
how's your mental health is what he wants to ask. And he asks everyone except me how my mental health is. So
I was going to say that one. Okay. But I don't know. You seem to be okay. I don't worry. And you're not actively in like dealing with the sets and the bullshit and the social media and all that to some extent, I would say. So I guess
Just
that's why I
ask
don't
her
really.
the question, Vic. Just ask her that, please. Just do it. The same way you
How,
ask.
Okay.
how are you doing, Jasmine?
No,
Mentally,
no.
Are you
Ask
okay?
her. Ask her.
How are you doing, Tara?
No, how's
in
your
terms of-
mental health?
How's your mental health?
Thank
My
you.
mental health is okay. The only reason why it's like isn't even from work. It's honestly from treatments and shit. Other than that, I've been doing fine.
Yeah. Okay. How are the lefties and the list makers? How are they doing?
You know, I have no idea. It's at least my part of the deal because I was kind of picked on and it's funny because I wasn't even on the damn thing. They just like targeted me because I directly said it was a stupid idea, basically, and I got targeted for it. But it slowed down like crazy, at least on my end. So I don't know if anyone else is dealing with a lot of shit, but
Yeah.
whatever.
I had 2 people pull off my podcast. So, for the pre-records that you and Vic have been on before, so I had to, you know,
They
replace
reported you.
them.
They reported you.
No, they went to their publicist, and it's not Lainey, by the way, and it's not Mike, it's someone else. I don't even. It's just said, oh,
They
no,
wanted to be. Got it. I got
because
it.
of the Trump stuff. So Paul wants to know, Tara, who would be your dream porn shoot, like male actors or female actresses? We already know who your dream director is, by the way.
Yay. Shit, that's a hard question. Like dream, like male actors and stuff
Yeah,
that I would like to
who would
work
you wanna
with.
Yeah, if you had the
Dude,
chance.
damn, I don't know. Like I have my top like favorites, I guess, but like ones that I'm looking forward to working with, I don't really pay attention too much. I'm just like, ooh, who am I working this time? You know what I mean? Other than, I mean, Johnny Sins is always gonna be up there. I don't care what anyone says about this shit. I enjoyed working with James Dean. I'd like to work with Wyatt West too.
Yeah.
Wyatt West.
Uh-huh.
He's new. He's the newer one, but
Mm-hmm.
I want to work with him.
Okay.
I don't know who Evelyn Clare is, but they want to see you work with Evelyn Clare. Do we know?
Okay. I do have an Evelyn Clare story.
Oh, we got to hear this.
What is it?
Well, this
Yeah.
was okay. This was when I started to realize that maybe I was growing long in the tooth and I was not relating to these younger porn girls who were arriving on set. Now, Evelyn Clare was a Spiegler girl, okay? And when a Spiegler girl arrived to set, you kind of had a certain expectations with the shoot. And I've never had someone drain my energy like mentally, like a succubus, like
Holy
this
shit.
22-year-old girl at the time, just based on like, I was really perplexed on like, how are we, like, what does she need in order to get this shoot done that is up to standards of what is being requested by all of us? And I was pretty accommodating all the way through from everything where the website was hot and mean, and it was with her and Lacey Lennon, who was a redhead. And when the scripts came down from the head office, it always had girl 1, girl 2. And I had to look at them and I had to figure out, okay, she'd probably be better as girl 1 or girl 2, just based on looks and what they were going for. And when I sent it to the agent, Spiegler, he had the script, and that was the script that she read, and that's the part she wanted to play. And she had to be really dominant because it was hot and mean. So the office said, well, no, we want to switch them. We want her to be mean and whatever. And when I went to Evelyn about it, she's like, I learned this script this way. I'm doing it. We're doing it this way. I'm like, okay, that's cool. So really she had to be dominant. That was really it. She had to be dominant. Now, Lacey, the redhead, also a Spiegler girl, was telling her, like, Evelyn, you can do whatever you want to me. Slap me, choke me. Like, she's encouraging her, and this girl is just freezing. And it's like, it's not hot and mean. It's like hot and like patty cakes. Like, that's really what it was. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, man, they're going to be like asking me what the fuck went wrong. And I'm sitting there with her. I'm like, Evelyn, please, what is it that you really need in order to get this done? Like, please, like anything, let's talk. And she's like, I just don't know. I just don't know. And I was like, that summed it up right there. Like, the inability to communicate, not just with what they were wanting and what they were needing to do a good job, but just for the act of consensual sex. And that was the one where I walked off set and I was like, I'm going to just drink a lot to forget about this day. And also, like, I just don't know if I relate to these girls or I can communicate with these girls, like this is the beginning of the end,
No,
you know?
it's like that's actually like that a lot now. Like you go on set, like, oh my God, dude, how many times I have to go on set? Because I like it rough. I'm open about it. I'm like, bro, you can fucking straight choke me out. I will come to you being like, give me a dick. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm like, dude, seriously, like, be rough with me. I'm flexible too. Bend me places. Like, and they'll still be like, just like so gentle. And I'm like, bro, let's, like, do a good scene kind of thing. Like, yeah. And then it's like weird because then we're like, all of a sudden we had a plan, like we're going to do something. But as soon as it comes down to it, everyone's too scared to like actually, I guess, enjoy themselves and have fun
Yeah.
and kind of go all out. And because a lot of it now it really sucks. I don't know if you deal with this a lot when you were shooting, but oh my gosh, I feel like it's changed a lot when it comes to like, if you seem like you're enjoying yourself. I know because so much shit was happening with girls saying a lot of things were happening on set and shit, but that changed a lot in the industry now. So every time things are starting to go really well and you're starting to get into it, they will cut. Be like, are you okay? I'm like, do I not seem like I'm okay? And it really sucks because like now, if you really act like you're into a scene or something, it's like it kind of sucks because they always cut. Because if it seems too rough or it seems like, well, I guess you're enjoying yourself too much, they're like, wait, are you actually enjoying yourself?
Yeah,
Kinda
yeah.
sucks.
Porn has intimacy coordinators now,
What?
basically.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
You basically just described an intimacy coordinator. Someone who's like,
What? No, 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 no. That's like an extra expense. You have that on a mainstream set. Are you
yeah,
serious?
I don't know. I don't know. You you've been in it more recently and you're telling me that this is kind of the commonplace where you're like, I always looked for that sweet spot where they finally found the groove, where the realities of like this awkward bench and this position request and all that, and it's choppy, but then finally the performers get into it and they're going. And I'm like, okay, here we go. And I'm just recording it. And I'm
Yeah, you
believing
think.
it. That was what it was. And then it wasn't. And I'm like, okay, I don't understand this anymore. It doesn't make sense. Because isn't that what
Well,
we're supposed to do?
yeah, but unfortunately, I know when it started to happen is because a few incidents, I'm not going to like name each one, but I know at least 3 incidents that happened around 2019 where the
Mhm.
girls were claiming certain things happened. And that's when they completely changed everything. They started they'd have like a random girl sitting on set for no fucking reason just to like make you feel safe that there's another female there. And then they'd start to record everything from the second you walk in the door. And it's just like it went from, this is fun and you're having fun to like everyone's watching everything they even say so they don't offend you or whatever. It's a little bit ridiculous. I find it
Yeah,
weird that people are so fucking sensitive. If you work in this industry, you think you'd be like pretty like, you know what I mean? I feel like you would be like kind of heard it all, like nothing would phase you. But man, oh my God, it seems like the fucking opposite.
yeah, they're handling porn stars in the adult industry with kid gloves.
That's
Yeah,
right.
That's
it's
really what's
weird.
going on. And that's where I was saying, like, whenever they would ask us to shoot whomever, I'd be like, what do you know about this person?
Mhm.
Oh, they've got a really big Instagram following. I'm like, okay, well, are they sane? Like, do you know this or not? And they were like, well, no, you'll figure it out. You always get the job done. Like, that's what they always said to me. And I was like, okay, so you trust my judgment. And then when COVID happened and when everything happened afterwards, and everyone went nuts in the summer of 2020, and there was more cancellations in the industry, that's where all the rules, anything from before was completely ripped up and new rules that made no sense to me because I thought we were dealing with adults.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think
I
that
don't know.
too. No, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, I agree, and it really sucks because it takes the fun out of the industry. It's supposed to be like a fun sexual thing, and all of a sudden it's like so many rules, and you can't say this, and then you can't say that. It's so ridiculous.
Yeah, but I think COVID brought out a lot of bad behavior in people in like all walks of life as well. I don't know how far it went in your business. Like if they actually, like saying stuff that happened like 20 years ago and they'd bring it up now. Did it go that far with you guys in pro wrestling? They would go into people's past and bring shit up from 10, 20 years ago that maybe would affect like a small majority of people. Were they doing that in porn as well? Like bringing up something from 5, 10 years ago? Like, oh, so-and-so
Well,
said this.
not from 5 to 10, more from like 2. So
Oh,
with
God.
me, they brought up a complaint that was on a website that was like a defunct website now. It was called Anon Place, where people would, during the summer of COVID, when everyone was losing their minds, were talking about their experiences on set and their perceived abuse and this and that and everything. And this scene was with Anna Fox, we determined.
Oh, okay.
And I put her actual complaint verbatim. Like, I don't edit anything. I'm just like, here's what she said. This is what I saw. And it's a shame there was such a discrepancy and such a breakdown in communication, because I looked at that footage again and again and again. And what I saw was a performer performing. Like, it was a razor thin line between, are they enjoying themselves? Is this a performance? Or internally they are in pain and somehow I need to know about it, but they're not calling cut, which is what you're supposed to do. Call cut or say stop or whatever. Like, that was the rule before. If you need a break, call cut and whatever. And she did call cut, and it completely countered her whole complaint of what she wrote. And once they started validating that behavior, where the whole notion of powering through a scene was, they were making excuses. Well, maybe, she felt intimidated, or maybe this, or maybe that. And I'm thinking, maybe she should find another job, because maybe she shouldn't be doing this because she's a liability. That was how I felt. Yeah. But that's where I was like, Brazzers, suck these nuts. That's really what it came down to. That's when I was over it completely. And then, we parted like a few months after that. But what I guess I'm grateful for in all of that was when their house started to burn down, because that's when all the Pornhub shit was going on. And I would have had a really hard time working for a company that had literally decades, over a decade of abuse and bad videos on Pornhub for that long. Like, knowing that, like, I'm glad I was done, because I'm like, wow, I knew they were greedy, arrogant motherfuckers, but I didn't know they were that bad where they were profiting on exploitation for as long as they did. So for me, it was fortuitous. I look at it like this, though. For those in the industry who need Pornhub, is there any kind of moral conflict with anyone in the business about being on Pornhub, promoting Pornhub, or anything else? So where do you stand with that, Tera?
Well, I was kind of explaining it last time when I was on. Pornhub definitely ruined a lot of things for the industry, because, well, it's too much content, you know what I mean, out there. And so now the stars can't get paid more, and it's just too easily accessed. And that's what I was saying, like, a little bit of free content's totally fine, but too much is a problem. And the same thing with, like, I think Pornhub really made a huge impact on the industry, and making it so you get paid less, you're less valuable, like all sorts of shit. And then OnlyFans really took it over. I mean, dude, I got really concerned a couple months ago, and I'm just going to say this because I was like, oh shit, the porn industry has definitely gone downhill, period. I think everyone knows that. Yeah. People aren't getting paid as much. There's so many people in porn now. Like, it used to be like I was saying, like, when you were like a porn star. That doesn't, I don't think like I said before, I don't think there's ever going to be another porn star, like somebody who can actually be unreachable, because that's what it really was. If you're a star, you're like beyond, like, you can't even reach them. You have to go to the strip club to finally see them in person, or go to AVN instead of, like, like all this other shit that you do on the internet and stuff like that. You make it to, like, everyone knows what everyone's thinking because of fucking social media. And with OnlyFans, like, you're just too accessible, and it really does suck, because then that takes away from, like, just fame in general isn't the same as it used to be. And I think that's what really killed it. Honestly, this time around, I got really concerned when, like, one of the biggest fucking companies is probably like Vixen, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
They just made a fucking announcement about a month ago, that they made an announcement, just blasting it all over their social medias, that they made a fucking OnlyFans.
What?
This is a massive porn company, and they're like, we made an OnlyFans. Join us on OnlyFans. I'm like, what? That is that is like scary to think of. Like a big company, it was one of the biggest companies in porn, is now resulting in actually making an OnlyFans because OnlyFans is making more money than these big companies. And if you want certain like if you join certain websites or whatever to see certain girls you really like, or just join their OnlyFans. Like that's what I was saying. It really sucks because I feel like Pornhub, OnlyFans, like all these other things really just kind of did it for the industry. So
here's a question.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
There's a question. Do directors, this is more of a Vic thing. Do directors think female talent escorting hurts the poor? Actually, you can answer this too, Tara. Do you guys think that female talent escorting hurts the porn industry? The fantasy of having that girl is lost, which I feel like I was around during the height of when this started happening with the porn star experience, whatever it was, $2,000 an hour. And they were using a lot of girls' photos who weren't necessarily like escorting. And I feel as though that was the beginning of the decline because now girls are doing stuff for like way less. Do you think that this has hurt that whole fantasy by like these girls escorting?
I don't know if that's like hurting you know what I mean? Like, I mean, I don't do it, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know if that directly hurts it. I feel like that's kind of like almost I feel like that's almost more like going to a strip club. Do you know what I mean? Where you see the girl in person. When it's a porn star, you're literally watching your own like fantasies come to life. That's really what porn is supposed to be. It's a little fantasy of you're the office girl that you've always wanted to fuck, and all of a sudden you get to see the porno of that exact thing that you want to do. You know what I mean? So I don't know if I don't know if I'd do that in the same category, but I don't know.
No, I mean, I think for the performer, it helps their brands if they're down to escort, where taking on scenes in studio porn ups their hourlies and everything else. But I didn't really see it ruining porn. I just think there was definitely talk between performers like, yeah, she's kind of a turbo hooker. You might not want to take a shoot with her because of all of that. Like that was what was really going down. People were pretty candid about it, like, or I would say, hey, so-and-so, do you want to work with so-and-so? And they're like, no, pass. And I'm like, sometimes I'd be like, that's fine. Sometimes they would just reveal, yeah, it's because, I'm worried that I might need a shot in my ass after the day is over.
Turbo hooker. Turbo hooker is a new word. I like that. Turbo hooker. But I think you and I had these talks before, both of you, and this is what John Jay is saying, STD epidemic coming in. So it seems like I always hear about it now more than I did back then. Is there all these different strains of chlamydia and this and that? Like, I guess people become more picky on who they work with, right?
Yeah, I was hearing more about the super, I called it gonorrhea plus.
Oh God,
chlamydia plus, because it was the stuff that was antibiotic resistant. And then I was hearing about the mycoplasma genitalium that was going on. So, I mean, like, Tara, I worry just about everyone's health in general because the talent pool swelled so much over the OnlyFans boom. And the amount of women who are on PrEP to prevent themselves from getting HIV, that is also pretty high. I hear that's a more common thing. I've heard that there were girls who were removing their tonsils because they were having like throat gonorrhea that wouldn't go away. What? So I'm just kind of,
What?
Yeah. I mean, listen, I speak about it very much in the book. I was doing the backstroke in the porn muck for a while. I was in the shit, right? But back then I wasn't really worried as I would be now. I think the muck is kind of nuclear now. So anyone going in, I just think they need to know that a little.
I don't know. I got pretty lucky so far. I haven't dealt with that, but I also am a little bit more picky on who I work with. If I know that somebody's just literally a content creator and they're not really getting tested until like every 30 days, but they shoot all the time, I'm like, sorry, like, no. That, and also like people are doing this thing now where they do content creating and they'll like get together with two talents and then they'll work together, basically fuck on camera, basically, and then share the content. But all of a sudden that like I don't know. It's like it's really hard to explain. So you get like content creators that like get together and just do content, and they'll do like a porn scene every now and then. So they'll get tested just for the porn scene, and then like 2 weeks later start to do content with other people. It's just I don't know. People are just a little. I don't know how to explain it.
Well,
Little
it's good
just kind of
you-
everywhere with how they do testing and stuff like that. I like
Yeah, it's
okay,
good-
and it's
Yeah, sorry. No, it's good you're picking, and it's good you do your due diligence and you do research, and that's what everyone should do if they're going to be in it.
well, yeah. You remember how it was just talent testing too? There's like 4 other ones now,
Yeah, that
and
which
it's
is
hard
good.
to read.
Well, they have to keep evolving because new shit is coming to light, new STDs and powerful. Yeah, I mean
Oh,
that.
okay. This is,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I mean, what is this guy, Creepy Corner? What was it like to be in this industry before the internet? It was awesome, actually. And, things, it wasn't like it was a free, I feel as though it's a free for all, if you know what I mean. Like, I'm not saying you, Tara, and you, Vic. I'm just saying half these people I see should not be taking their clothes off. They should not be in front of a camera fucking and sucking. I'm sorry. It's just, I think it's a free for all, and I don't know if this is part of fucking DEI. Didn't earn it, back then. And you get this, Vic, like everyone, we worked out, we did things we were supposed to. You get your test every month, and you're not out fucking and sucking till dawn every night.
Well, that
Yeah,
was
a turbo hooker.
What a turbo hooker! I think that's my new word. You turbo hooker.
Yeah,
I
You're
love
a
it.
fucking turbo hooker. Not you.
Well, that and back then, like a lot of girls that were like porn stars, they were like
Yeah.
babes. They had the nice tits, the nice body, just like you know what I mean. And now that's man, they really just kind of make a very broad type of girl.
something for
So-
everyone.
Yeah,
Something for
yeah.
everyone. Are you
Yeah.
serious? Did you just say that?
Well, apparently, I mean, look, you see all the categories of all these tube sites and everything.
No,
so
because I don't go on tube sites like a pervert, Vic. So I
don't either.
I'm afraid to see this
I'm no
stuff.
longer a porn consumer just because I'm so fucking over it. But
I'm
I have
afraid.
seen them before, and literally there's like 60 categories of things, if not more.
The fuck are people doing in 60 categories? Shit video, piss video, fisting, lesbian, boy,
I think
boy,
those are
girl.
illegal. The first two, I think.
Huh?
I
Oh,
think
they
those
are?
two. Well, I don't know. The peace stuff I think was getting more and more popular again.
Peace
I
stuff
don't
is
think-
very popular.
Yeah, yeah. For some odd reason, the poop stuff I think that's a big no-no still. Correct?
Yeah, that one, and anything with that has to do with like blood or anything, those are like banned. Like, no, absolutely no for those two for sure.
Yeah. That
Well,
was.
here-
I'm glad those rules haven't changed. So
Here's an interesting one. No, I'm sorry. Like right here, it's
Yeah.
like some guy saw a fat guy has an OnlyFans and pays girls to bang him. That's like border. I'm sorry. I'm not being judgmental, but that's like fucking. You're pathetic, okay? And you need to pay these girls to bang you on your stream. So is that I don't know. Is that like content creation or is that like prostitution on film? Like which one is it? What's the line?
That's a little that's one a little different because it sucks because this is so common that they even try to contact agents for this.
Oh,
That if they're trying to like really boost up their OnlyFans, they'll contact agents now. And I'm like, I told my agents, don't contact me with that kind of stuff.
ew.
But yeah, what they'll do is like they're trying to grow their OnlyFans, so they'll like try to hire girls and do it through your agent and see how that works. And it's just like I don't know. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's changed. I'm a little sad about it because I really am sad that I like missed that cool opportunity to like legitimately enjoying porn. I enjoy doing my own stuff because it's fun, and I obviously don't judge. I get a lot of requests for a lot of different things, and it's not a lot of it's interesting, and I'm like, fuck yeah, that sounds cool. What did you think of that? And then you get the ones that are a little off that you're not like, it's not weird, but it's odd.
yeah.
Vic, any Mika Tan stories? Did you work with Mika Tan?
Well, so
Does
I know I
it
shot her. I know I
Okay.
shot her. I know I shot her a few times. I don't remember it, but that's a good thing because it means the day went well. But nothing. I only remember when shit goes sideways or if a shoot was like really cool in some way. But overall, if like a lot of stuff, it was business as usual. No problems, no concerns, no meltdowns, no bad odors, no, none of that. So that means Mika-san was a professional, and she conducted herself as a professional, and we all got paid, and I got home to my dogs early.
Jasmine,
like Vic
what was your favorite person to work with?
Me, myself, and I. Now, isn't that great? I don't know. Like Evan Stone had nice hair. I didn't like that because it was like looking at a G, your hair smells terrific shampoo commercial. But he was cool, and like these are like guys before your time. TT Boy. You know what? Now that I think about it,
Not many.
Not me.
I don't care like how hot they were. I'd always find a way to bash their egos and fuck up their days because it was annoying. Well, you have to do this shit. Come on, guys. We're here for business. I was doing it to be a bride. I liked Herschel Savage. He was actually a very nice person. Peter North, Dave Hardman. No, actually, Peter North, TT Boy, and Earl Slate. And this kid, Mike Luciano, I think his name was under Stefano. He shoots a lot with Claudio. I don't know if you work with Claudio, the old guy from Perth City.
Oh, yeah, I remember your story. You don't have a good Claudio story. Maestro Claudio or whatever the fuck he's called.
It was a Stefano story, actually. No, I never ended up working with Claudio because I called him the day before to tell him I wasn't going to show up to a set. I did the humane thing. I called up the two people I was supposed to work with. I said, hey, I'm not going to show up tomorrow. I'm actually quitting. So just don't show up. If you could find a different shoot to go on, then do that. You have my blessings. And oh, okay. So one guy didn't get the phone call and he showed up on the set. It was this total skank. And he just walked off the set. He's like, well, Jasmine's not here. It's like, no. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I was just there for the moment, and
you didn't work with a lot of girls, did you?
Never. I never worked with girls. They were there on set. Like I probably would have gotten along with, like, if you were there the same day on set. But one girl was like dreading working with Ron Jeremy one day, and she came into the makeup room. I'm like, then just go home or like go back to the fucking Greyhound bus station. Okay. Like, why are you here? Okay. So then the director came in. It was a British guy, Jasmin. What's going on here? I said, tell her to get some backbone or something. Like I told her you're in the wrong business if this is what you want to do, and you're going to come in here bitching you have to fuck some big fat smelly guy. Seriously. So
he always smelled like Old Spice.
No, it's Brute.
Brute.
Yeah, I never worked with him, but I'll tell you what happened to that girl. She actually.
Oh God, what happened?
She walked off the set.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah.
She came back, but like not to this set, but she was doing other scenes. But it's just it was a very wild business. It was super close knit then. So with those AIDS scares that were going on, that we had, we were very proactive. So the whole thing was with Mark Wallace. He was patient X. Is that what you guys call it, or patient zero? Patient zero. So there was a really pretty Asian girl named Brooke Ashley back in that day, really sweet person. And she contracted HIV from him. Oh, she's in Hawaii now, by the way. I think she got married. I don't know, but she was a victim of that. And rumor has it, once again has it that Mark Wallace was dating Marcy Hirsch, which was related to Steve Hirsch, who owned Vivid and AVN magazine, or not. He didn't own AVN. Sorry, he owned Vivid, and allegedly, that's why he had those dirty tests, but they didn't look dirty. If that makes sense. Well, that's what I heard. But it was here, Stefano. You had good. Oh God, but yeah, that's the only person I really like working with.
All right.
Because but you got like Tom Byron, like he'd have to take a Viagra.
Yeah, I mean that was common.
No, it's not. Don't work there. Go get a job at McDonald's. Jesus, go fucking back.
I don't disagree, but that was the regimen. Then it went to Caverject when the Viagra and Cialis weren't working, and then it went to the penis pumps.
But you know what I did? I once took someone's Caverject from the bathroom. I saw it there. And I injected a shit ton of bacteria stat water on it, like inside of it.
Okay, that's bad. But
It's not. They just they couldn't work that day, so they went home.
Oh my gosh.
Well, no, they still paid him. It's just I wanted to. I wasn't like a nail day for me. It wasn't like a spa day. I had other shit. I just had other things I had to do. I think I was going to the movies or something, and I wanted to go to like Universal Studios the next morning. Like Tera, I think like if you were around in that time with me, I think we would have gotten along fine, and you wouldn't have had to like get that other side of me. That was mostly for like the Felicia Ann's and like some of the Vivid girls and stuff like that.
Well, I love the attitude. So I would have loved you as soon as I met you. I was like, yeah, this one.
I met Vic ages ago, actually, but he didn't want to say hi to me at the post office.
no, you look like you were busy doing your post. See, here's the thing. Like, I don't bother women. I think like when they're out about their day and they're doing their whatever, they don't want like to be hit on. They just want to get their gas filled or mail their letters. I'm not going to be like, I'm not like that at all. I have always like just maybe a hi, smile, and that's it. But I wouldn't want to intrude. I think that's kind of, I kind of get saddened by my species at times.
No, but the way you look, you're allowed to intrude.
That's nice. I appreciate that. But still, manners, like having manners, courtesy. That's always been me. I don't do that. I know it's boring. It's boring as fuck, but I feel better at the end of the day. So
Tera, Paul wants to know. Yeah, so creepy corner says don't be a creep. Tera, what are some of the favorite states that you've traveled to?
Damn. I liked Oregon. I liked Oregon a lot. I liked Nebraska, Lincoln, Nebraska, out of all fucking places. I actually liked that place. People were really like that. Just place seems so sweet and so homey. But everyone, as soon as you like talk to people, are so friendly. But as soon as you say, "Oh, I love it here," they're like, "Why?" And it kind of took it out for me because like I lived there for a year, and it just people talking like that. I was just like, ugh, whatever. And then I really liked. I loved Florida, except it's so flat. I love it. It's pretty, but I feel like I couldn't live there because of the fact it's so flat and small.
Well, wait, what's Lincoln, Nebraska like of all things? Is it hilly there? I don't think have I been?
Not really. It's very flat. It's very flat. It's a lot of farm. You think of corn, that's where you go for it. Corn and cows. And it's like, it was super sweet. It's like so homey. Every time you go to the gas station, everyone's so friendly. But as soon as you say, "Oh, I love it here," and they're like, "Oh, where are you from?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm from Arizona." They're like, "Well, then why are you here?" Like, I'm like weird for liking that area. I don't know.
So this is our Danish friend. Good dog. King Brian. Brian, he wants to know if you've been to Denmark.
No. Are you talking to me?
Yeah, to you. He wants to know.
Oh. No, I haven't. I've only been basically everywhere but Southeast, kind of. I don't have to look at a map, but I've been a lot of places. Unfortunately, nothing outside the country, though. I would love to go outside the country. I've even been to Alaska, but it's been a while.
They have sexpos around the world, like Extasia in Switzerland. They have Sex Expo Oslo. There's something in Australia. I think you'd be really, I think you'd probably enjoy yourself there, and you'd probably get a lot of offers to shoot content.
Oh, that'd be cool.
I think so. I mean, I would not, it looks like a lot of fun. Like I would actually go to one of those just to see it. People look really nice.
Oh.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
So
I love traveling.
I have a question for you. Like when it comes to business now, how do you get your money from Pornhub? How does that work still with all the stuff that they've had go wrong with them over the last several years?
Well, I was kind of explaining it before. When they got in that whole legal issue, it actually helped people like me because I went from like really low ranks to all of a sudden all those nonsense like fake accounts and shit that got deleted, like wiped it. I went and my views went like sky high because then I got all those views that were from other fake accounts got pushed to mine because it was a verified account. So I still make money off of it. So basically it's like anything else. It just verifies that you are you and then your bank account and shit like that. So every month when you get views and stuff like that, you get paid for it.
You get paid per view, basically.
Yeah, you do. It's like such a small amount though too. It's like I think a couple cents a view, but when you got multiple views, it it adds up. And so, and especially if somebody clicks an ad while they're watching your video, then you get more money for it. So it's like just total clickbait. As soon as you're watching my video, I get a little bit of sense there, and all of a sudden you're like, ooh, what's that video click? And then all of a sudden I get another boost because you did that. So it's kind of nice. You still get some money. It's just, like I said, unfortunately, it makes it so like other things can't pay you more.
And how's the verification process going with that?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't have a problem with it. It was like anything else. It's almost like signing up for like OnlyFans and shit. You just have to verify that it's you. And I can't, it's not just that. I verify it's me. And since I'm somebody who works in the industry, I just have to like do a couple links to actual video, like professional scenes of mine. So it wasn't hard for me because I already had a few professional scenes out before I even like verified myself.
Yeah. Yeah, no, because that was like the real big thing, especially with verifying. Here's all the reasons why Pornhub got in trouble over because everything was just underage on there. I mean, it was accessible underage, and they pled guilty to profiting from these exploitation videos. And to be honest with you, third ownership, they're on fourth ownership now, but third ownership, they were the assholes, the real scumbags that I really grew to despise. And in a lot of ways, they do need to be. I mean, there are so many class action lawsuits going on. Plus, but is that enough? Do you think? Like, I know it's kind of a tough question because you didn't really deal with them. I did, so I kind of know what they were up to. But when it comes to thinking about someone who a victim, basically, what do you think justice would be for the ones who deliberately made money off of and profited off of someone's abuse?
Are you asking me?
I am. Yeah, you're in the hot seat now because
You're in the hot
seat,
baby. Woo!
Yeah, you're in it, and you need Pornhub. So I kind of want to just understand how do people reconcile all the shitty things they did because they're still in business with them? That's all.
Fuck, I don't know, man. I honestly, because I've heard some fucking sketchy stories about even talents that have slipped through and I don't even know the person's name, so I wouldn't say their name anyway, but somebody just got caught for doing some fucking like awful shit. And they were able to work in the industry, but they were like, I guess like sexually abusing people that were younger and doing gay porn. And finally got caught for it. And I'm like, that really kind of bothers me that they don't kind of look into that shit for people that work in the industry. Make sure you're not like a fucking, well, we're all perverts here, but you know what I mean? Like over the illegal shit.
Yeah, the bad perverts, not the good perverts.
Yeah.
No, I hear you. But porn has the memory of a goldfish. It really does. And it's one of those businesses it's hard to fail out of, where you can keep coming back because it's just the way it goes. There's no union with teeth. There's nothing that can really protect. There's no way to really monitor the porn industry because they never really wanted to be. They wanted to be self-governed, but there's a lot of room. So it's kind of could be a dark place at times.
But yeah, like I feel like they should definitely look into like a little bit of your background for making sure that you're not doing some sketchy ass like pervy shit. I feel like that should kind of be even because the thing that sucks about this industry, and it's perfect too, is you need a background check. But that's one thing I don't agree with of like something like that somebody would get charged for sexually abusing people, and all of a sudden they can be making money in the porn industry. That bothers me.
Yeah, well, that's really the whole thing about the book that Layla Micklethwait wrote that is causing all of these problems. I know her. I've met her. I've talked to her. Have you heard anything about her in terms of the person behind the trafficking hub movement?
No.
No.
Okay. Well, yeah, she the thing that the porn industry does when someone is from my perspective, she's fighting the good fight and trying to go after abusers, people who produce child porn, trafficking. She's really wanting to go after all of those. But the porn industry has a crusade against her, immediately labeling her as far right and religious and all of that, which is, after the conversations I had with her, it's the farthest thing from the truth. So I just kind of wondering how internally, if anyone's even aware of her and what she's been doing over the last 4 years, which is really what took down Pornhub and really had to get it sold for pennies by the fourth ownership.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it's like that's important, but you guys went back to something really big that should be happening is they should run a background check. If someone is a registered sex offender, and I get you could become a registered sex offender, let's say if you piss in the street with your penis out or your vagina. Okay, fine.
Yeah, like I agree with you there. Like if it's something minor, you're like, oh shit. But if it's something serious, I think that you should definitely have a background check for that.
Well, that's the problem is back then we were such a smaller knit community that if someone did something, let's say with, I mean, God forbid, like an underage child or something like that, it would get out there and you would be blacklisted. I feel as though there's so many people, you know, that you wouldn't be able to know. They'll slip through the cracks. And yes, I agree with that. We should have a modern anti-porn versus porn people debates. I love debating. I'd be more than happy to step in that role right then and there. But I do think that there's got to be a better way to monitor the people because there's so many people out there that are getting onto Pornhub, right? It's like you don't know who they are. You don't know.
That's also one of the things that I was telling you about. I said that's also one of the things I was telling you about. If so many people are doing it, it's like hard to monitorize it, but it's also what's making it hard for people to actually ever be a star in it because just so many people are like, let's dive into that. Do you know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah,
and that's why it's not just like girls that really take care of themselves and stuff like that, and guys who really take care of. It's just like anyone just with a camera tries to be a porn star.
Well, wait a second. Hellstrom is saying something. This is actually a girl I've been trying to get on.
I know her. I know Laura.
Well, yeah, she's also. I don't know if she's as far to the right as I am, but yeah. So Laura Jensen.
Yeah, I think she is.
She is okay. How fucking far to the right am I? Okay. I don't know what Laura Jensen is speaking about, and how they feel about her. But you can't. It just goes back to this whole thing. So there's a certain girl who's active in porn, blonde girl, white girl. I'm not going to say who. I think you could put it together. Who is far to the left, but at the same time, I feel as though a lot of these accusations towards some of the performers, and I agree with these things that have come up before with certain people being inappropriate on set, but she magnified it and made it a lot bigger than what it really was. Vic, you know who I'm talking about.
I don't know. I mean, maybe you described like 5 or 6 of them over the years.
Yeah.
Pudgy, okay. She's got tattoos.
You said pudgy?
Yeah. She's not like a cow yet, but she was like really amplifying things. Like I don't know what your guys' thoughts on Ron Jeremy are. Like I never worked with him in a porn film. I did a mainstream film that he was on the same day at the set, but I feel as though that was amplified to more than what it was because it's Ron. Okay, I wasn't there that day, but I have friends that were at that convention that said it wasn't the way this girl made it out to be. Do you think that's, and this is for both of you, do you guys think that sometimes these girls amplify the stories than what they actually are?
I'll tell you right now, I totally do. I think a lot of girls will do it just for that attention because they're just like, oh, and then you know what I mean? But it backfires because then these directors don't want to work with them because what are you going to say about them? That's a lie. I mean, I don't mean to be like that, but like I said before, it's weird. So many people are so sensitive in this industry. Fuck, dude, you could say damn near anything to me and I won't get offended because, well, what I do for a living. I've heard so much things aren't even weird to me anymore.
Yeah.
So, and that's why I feel like weird that so many girls will like do things like that and kind of make stories up. And when you're like literally there, like you said, Vic, where you're like on set and you're like this, I watched the scene over and over and it doesn't make sense. And I'm like, I don't know if they were just like, they were too shy to say anything, which is weird because of what they do for a fucking living. You think they'd be a little bit more open and be like, hey, stop that shit, or I need lube, or whatever the fuck the case is. And then, or hey, you need to stop, you're hurting me, or whatever. But then right afterwards, they'll go on the internet and just talk all sorts of shit on what happened on set, just to get attention or people to feel bad for them. I don't know what it is, but Yeah,
be
I get in
relevant.
rants about this shit because I feel so bad for male talents for that reason. How many of them didn't do anything and their career was ruined and nobody
Mhm.
wants to work with them because of this shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think
No,
it's a very,
bad.
it's a very valid point because in the same thing in wrestling, they did this type of thing as well. And it's all these girls that were allegedly coming out. There was one wrestler that I knew, and his girl was dating. She came out about some guy prior to him. I'm like, dude, you need to watch your back because you're going to be next. And lo and behold, this guy got canceled. Ron Jeremy made a lot of money and probably screwed over and pissed off the wrong person. No, you know what? My opinion is that I think it was just a washed up webcam girl who wanted to seem relevant and said something. It's like what Joey Ryan, a wrestler friend of mine, said. You know, and no, it's not Joanna Angel. This kid, one thing in wrestling, someone is always eager to take your spot. So they will do things and say things to to cancel you. And I
Mhm.
don't know the whole thing with Ron Jeremy. I just I don't know.
There
It's
was a
gross.
lot of allegations over a long period of time dealing with
Yeah.
some younger women. A lot of it, the Rainbow Room. There was a lot of
Uh-huh.
that going on. I mean, one thing he was definitely like lech. He was lecherous,
Yes.
and but a lot of it was shticky. But I can't say because I'm not those people. But I always say where there's smoke, there's fire. So there definitely was probably something going on, and
Mm.
he tried to sell it before he was put in a mental
Hospital.
facility.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean he basically was released on a compassionate release, but before all of that, he kind of tried to sell it as buyer's remorse. Like
It
these girls
was,
had sex with him and they just felt bad about it afterwards, and then they made it a claim. And there was apparently a lot of those claims.
but two things. Okay, so
Mhm.
I was at the Rainbow many times when he was there. I remember these two gorgeous Finnish girls, and one of them wanted to meet him, and she's like making out with him, like videotaping it and everything. But I've seen him with girls going to the back, like girls want to go in the back. Now, bear in mind, in the 90s, I traveled with him for 6 months. I was
Mhm.
feature dancing at clubs. He would do a stand up routine act beforehand. There were men paying him $20 to take a Polaroid with his dick in their wives' mouths.
Yeah,
I know
right.
that's pretty gross, right?
Man, porn is not the same anymore.
No,
I
it's definitely
know.
not. No, that's what it
Just
was all
going
the
on
time.
touring, that's the kind of
Mhm.
just like party you guys see.
Mhm. Yeah.
That's like gross. A lot of this started with Rose McGowan. I don't know who Manson is, but with Rose McGowan and Marilyn Manson. I don't know
Yeah.
what happened there. I just think she's a fucking freak. Sorry,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
you should get back into directing, Vic.
I don't know. I mean, look, the reality is like I always said I called it the bullshit to dollar ratio, where the money was this, which meant I had to like hold this much bullshit in this hand to justify this. And that money is not there anymore. It really isn't, especially for crews. Like, you were saying on a couple weeks ago, Tara, that the directors and the producers or the companies now have their noses shoved so far up the female talent's assholes that that's great for you, but for a crew, I mean, we were shit upon. Like, I'm not gonna say I was shit upon because I was paid very well and I had to deal with a lot of bullshit. I had to eat tons and tons of shit sandwiches, but they are underappreciated, and I think you would agree with me, Tara, on that point where they're all about you, but with crews, it's like,
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
you're replaceable. You're replaceable.
yeah, and I agree with you. When it comes to like the female talents, they're like kiss your ass. Even with some of the male talents don't get treated very well. And I'm just like, shit, that's sad. And then but yeah, like the PAs, like anyone else on set, it seems like they're just like everyone's yelling at everyone. Like, but oh, you can't do anything right when it comes to like, you know what I mean? It just I feel bad for the crews. But
Yeah.
that's also what sucks is because now so many people, like I was kind of saying that they don't spend as much money as they used to on, production. So now they're
Mhm.
cutting costs on PAs and lunch. Like you used to have lunch every time you go to like a set,
Yep.
like never now.
So
That
you
and
don't
there's
have
like
that anymore. It's all
no,
gone.
like the only place that I know that still does that was Brazzers.
Mm,
And I think Vixen does if it's like a movie, but like it depends on if it's a short scene or not. They'll just have like chips or something and like
mm,
gummy bears, but that's
right.
about it. And so they cut costs on a lot of things. So the poor
Mm.
directors and the PAs and everything like that, I feel just like no, it's
Yeah, no,
sad.
I kind of saw it because they were paying female talent a lot more because
No,
they
they're
need the
not
traffic.
that much more.
Well, they were putting girls under contract for Brazzers. You've got
Oh,
Angela
that's
Whites and all
true.
of them. Now that's a lot of money they have to pay them. And I mean, business wise, it makes sense. They're the stars. They've got the traffic. They're going to promote the scenes, get all of that. But as a result, especially since traffic on Pornhub is down because of the content purge, there's less and less for crews. So I'm thinking like, why would crews still do it other than the fact they've got mouths to feed, including their own, when it's really the money's not really there anymore.
Yeah, it's really not. And I know it sucks. Like I'm sad that I'm like witnessing this. Because even like when I was working 4 years ago and I started to get more work, I was already seeing like the difference on sets and how much money they used to put into it and now they can't afford to do that.
Mhm.
Sucks.
Yeah.
But it's also one of the things that a lot of girls have been complaining about, and some people like me love it because I hate when people do my makeup, can't stand it.
Mhm.
And now there's a lot of places that don't do makeup artists because they can't afford to have a makeup artist there. And some girls
Yeah.
hate it. Like my best friend, she fucking hates it. She's like, I want my face and hair done to look fabulous. And I'm like, hell no, don't touch me. Let me do my own stuff. But
Right.
yeah, like they're cutting down on like everything from
Yeah.
food to extras like PAs. They don't even bother with a lot of extras because they can't even afford to like do that. They'll just pretend somebody's in a different room, kind of takes
Yeah.
away from it.
This reminds me of like when Burt Reynolds at the end of Boogie Nights, we're in the 80s now. We're in the VHS tape era, and he's just like, it's like it is what it is. It's like this is where we are now. It's fallen so much. So
Yeah.
I just worry about those in it because of all the suicides and all the
Mm.
the overdoses and everything else. I mean, it just seems like it hasn't gotten better in those areas. It hasn't looked
Well,
after people.
my biggest thing is I think, and I'm firm about this with everyone. I don't think a lot of people can handle this kind of job. If you really think about what it is, it's like it's a lot. It takes a lot, and it takes a certain person to be able to handle like truly what the job is. Also, it's like so mentally like drains you if you're not in the right mindset. And that's what
Mhm,
gets dangerous is because people are like, oh, I just want to make money, and they'll do it for the wrong fucking reasons. And
mhm.
then they're depressed and end up getting into drugs and all sorts of shit.
Yeah. Yeah, you pretty much nailed it. And that's kind of why I was doing a lot of drugs because I was around people who were surrounded by darkness and I was feeling it and I was absorbing it. So
Hmm.
that's where the cocaine fit in, where the booze fit in. And like now I think back at how I survived it. It's a miracle, actually, considering all the fentanyl overdoses and everything else.
Dude, yeah, like it's sad. And that's why I said like it takes a certain kind of person to be able to handle it. And just so many people are doing it right now
Mhm.
that probably really shouldn't be doing it. Like I said,
Yeah.
I love everything about it. I think it's fun. It's like exciting. It's a shame that I'm not like doing more. Like
Yeah.
I would love to be doing so much more, but you only get what you get. But I
Yeah.
try to
No, I
make the
mean
best
that's
of
why
what I have.
you were great and you had the right attitude
Thank you.
across the board, which was why I was like, okay, definitely want to shoot this one because I know that the day's going to be good. They're going to be happy. Everything's going to be smooth.
Thank you.
But now it's a dice roll. It's a craps roll. And I tell everyone I still talk to them, like, just be careful because
Mm.
you're all basically holding a time bomb. You just don't know when yours is going to blow up, if ever.
That's why Jasmin probably kicked ass because she was so quick to be like, that's not what I'm doing. I'm not doing this. She's like,
Mhm.
cut, not
Yeah.
doing that shit. And a lot of girls will be like, I'm fine. And then go home and be like, it was terrible. So like I said,
No.
it's just so sad. Like how some girls they're in it for the wrong reason. They can't speak up if something happens. They use their social medias as fucking weapons.
Mhm.
They don't feel right or they said something, don't do this. And the guy was like, oh shit, I didn't mean to do that. And you're just like, oh no, it's okay. But then you go home and bitch about it. It's just
Mhm.
so sad. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like it's a sad story, you know, and then you get a lot of girls that shouldn't be there that are just shit shows, so to speak. You know, that's why I was trying to set you up with Slava, Ivan, whatever his name is, who shoots a lot for Brazzers, but they always use. He loves having tatted girls on the on his shoots, but it's going to be that time of the night where everyone's dropping off, I think. So make sure you guys catch up on the restreams of these every week, because I know you do, because you like the guest, you like Vic, and you like his line of question with these female guests sometimes.
I love it.
I love it. Yeah, it's fun having him on. I'm just disappointed that he didn't ask you how was your mental health during all.
Well, now I know. So I'll do it.
Doing that though.
Yeah. Hey, did you know this is AVN nominated?
Oh,
this
dude,
is AVN
yeah.
nominated.
Finally,
It's
scared.
nominated.
The thing that's so funny about it is I'm not exactly kind to AVN or the entire industry in the book, but they're like, good job. Now, I don't have any illusion that I'm going to win because it's all political. I think like Stormy Daniels or Angela White are going to win because they're more popular and everything, right? But it would be one hell of an acceptance of speech. It really would.
My God, right?
Like if you want to have like the best like 3 minutes on the stage at AVN, have me win this award and I will not let you down. But I don't even know if I'm going to go because if I don't win, I have to sit through that horse shit, you know?
Yeah.
No, you should go. You should go.
Yeah, you should go. Actually, I want to go. I want to like punch Stormy Daniels in the face. What a stupid cunt. Seriously, like, what does she get? Doesn't she owe Trump money? Like she had sex with him, right? Now she has to pay him money. That's like, what a dumb whore. But anyway, that's what an NDA is there for. But I hope you do win. I want you to go there. I want you to win. And guys, don't forget to pick up Filthy by Vic Lagina.
Vagina.
Lagina is better. Lagina is more bougie. You have to get it. Pick it up. Filthy by Vic Lagina. It makes a perfect stocking stuffer or a perfect gift. They even has the Amazon. Seriously. So you just have to pick it up and read it. Okay. And yes, she defeats the purpose of being a turbo hooker.
Let's promote Tera. She's
Tera. Tera's. What's your OnlyFans, and how could people find you on here?
Okay. On the internet, I am Tera Winters, and that's for X and my Instagram, and for OnlyFans, it's just onlyfans.com/Tera Winters.
And do you have any films coming out soon?
Shit, I don't know. Well, I don't know what's came out already. Like, you know what I mean? So there's still ones dropping with my hair blonde, and I've been dark hair for months. So I'm like, I don't know what's happening. Yeah, there's still some scenes that are dropping out. I think one of my last ones that just released was one I did in Vegas, I think. I don't know. I'm confused. So when I get like a tweet or something and I'm like, oh shit, that scene still didn't come out. I did that in February.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, you have control over your content now. Hellstrom. Okay, so this is another regular on my show, Kitty Quinn. Have you ever worked with Kitty Quinn? Really pretty tatted blonde.
Me?
Yeah.
No, the only girl. Well, I've only worked with Maddie May, some Hazel. Shit, I don't remember her last name. Hazel Moore or something like that. And my girl scene was fucking fantastic. And I will say that because I was nervous as shit for it, because I hadn't did a girl in years, like 4 years. And it was my first girl scene in 4 fucking years. And it was with Katie Cush. She's flexible as shit too. So we did like a new move. It was so funny, you know, like scissoring and shit. We ended up doing the spatula. It was awesome. I think we invented new moves.
So not the standard issue scissor it was a
spatula. We did the spatula.
So Brad, if you're gonna join, it's Tera Winters. I just spelled it out for you. It's T-E, not T-A.
Yes.
Yeah, or am I tired? I can't see it.
Jasmin, I'm serious. You should solicit get the dick ratings.
No.
Tell me it would not be pure gold to watch her react to dick ratings.
We're not doing this shit,
dude. Yes, do it.
God,
I want to see you react to some dick.
It would be priceless, and you'd make money too on top of it.
I don't know how to do this shit, guys. Come on, man. Like I don't know. I will. Okay. I will think about it. Okay. I will.
Yeah,
think
I would
about it.
pay to see that shit.
Oh,
I would pay to see that just to see your reaction.
Oh,
Not even you don't even need to see the dick, just your reaction to it. Be like, yeah.
Full descriptors. Yeah, we covered the psychology of the dick rating a few weeks ago, and I'm still baffled by it.
Fucking idiots.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I heard. I actually watched that one. I heard you guys' whole conversation, your confusion over how do you do the dick rate? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
why?
Z. Now, I mean, like, do you have to set up the OnlyFans to the YouTube? Like, I don't even understand it. Do I get them the day before and then we put it up? Like, we're not going to put it online, but then do I go through the OnlyFans account as we're doing it? Like, how would you see the screen?
Okay, how you would do it is if you have like an iPad or a phone or something and you're streaming, then you just do this and be like, and do your reaction, you know? And then tell us what you're seeing and describe it.
I think, Tara, what you should do offline is take her through the step-by-step process of how you make money with and get the orders for the dick ratings. If you help her with that, I'll take it from there. I'll steer the ship from there, and it will be pure gold. It would be.
I think it would be pure gold. Yes, yes. I think everyone just wants to see your face and your reaction to like anything. The news, just watch you be like, oh, just I would love to see it. It's just that sass that you see in your face.
Yeah,
it's
yeah. No, I mean, right away,
I love it.
I know it's great. So we'll have to figure it out, and you'll make money on top of it. Like it's a win-win.
Well, shit, I'd pay for that.
No, you pay for the reaction. That's all. I know that's all you're paying for. You'll be paying for the reactions. I totally get it. But guys, don't forget to join I Am Tera Winters all over the internet. And don't forget to pick up Filthy by Vic Lagina. I will speak to you guys soon. And Tara, you and I have a date at the Ronald Reagan Library. Guys, sit back. I'll be right there in a second. Thank you very much for joining me tonight. I'm signing out in a few minutes because it's going to be dinner time. Can you believe that? I'm having dinner.
Yeah, dinner time.
Stay out of trouble, you two.
We will, maybe.
Yeah. Bye.
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 Yeah, so guys, that was a lot of fun tonight. Thank you for joining me for a triple threat night. And don't forget to go online and look up I Am Tera Winters. And obviously you just catch me here. You catch me on Instagram, The Real Jasmin St. Clair, and Vic Lagina's book is Filthy. That's it. Don't forget. Check out the restreams every Wednesday. Check out the podcast Crazy Train with Jasmin St. Clair. That's Crazy with a K on Apple. And do not forget, thank you, Brad. Thank you, everyone. Good night. And most importantly, stay frosty.